Hi everyone, I'm excited to be here today. I'm Yshay, I am developer and CTO of Lifecycle, an early stage startup with the mission to make the code more accessible to everyone and strengthen the relation between coders and non-coders. But today I am here to talk about something else completely, which is how to create an awesome developer experience when onboarding a new and unfamiliar code base. A few years ago, I led the development of an internal company product that was released later as an open source solution for feature flags and configuration management. During the time, we wanted to encourage developers in the company to contribute code to the project. We've organized an hackathon, and because the project was called Tweak, we've called it a Tweakathon. Now, we were excited, we've added documentation to the project, we organized a dedicated backlog, promote the event, and at the end, well, it didn't work that well. The problem was that most developers were struggling to establish a decent development environment, and most of them had problem running the application properly, let alone develop new code or test it. They encountered the common problems we encounter when working on a new code base. We might not have the right version of operation system, different SDK or missing programming languages, runtimes, environment variables, secrets, other tricks like changing the host file. Now, besides that, it's a very frustrating experience. We also most probably will end up polluting, breaking, or messing up our own developer workstation, which is terrible. To solve these issues, we need a development environment that is isolated, self-contained, and properly configured. 2 years ago, VSCode, one of the most popular IDE, added support for development container. The idea is simple. Instead of developing directly on our operation system, we'll develop our app in a dedicated container that runs the IDE server component. The IDE frontend will still run on our machine, providing a responsive developer experience, but all the code, extension language server, terminal sessions, all are running in the container. Let's see what it looks like. What does it look like? So here I have my IDE running the same project, Tweak, but it's running inside a dev container. We can see it here in the status page. Now, what does it mean? Well, I'm going to open a terminal on my host machine, and you see that it's a Windows with no development tools, not Go or Node. We only have Docker, and Docker runs a single process, which is my development container. But here inside the VS Code that the terminal is connected to the development container, I have everything. I have Node, Go, .NET, everything I need to develop Tweak. And I also have a nested Docker daemon that runs all the containers of Tweak. So it's pretty self-contained environment. And to do this magic, I've just added a dev container JSON, configured some flags, the extension I want to have in the IDE, and created a Docker file that defines all the tools we want inside the container. So we have Docker in Docker, some shell extension, .NET 5, Golang, Node.js, Yarn, and a tool called Tilt. Now I have the application here running. We can see the login page here, and I'm going to do a code change, a quick one. So I'm going to change the welcome here, put some exclamation point, change the font, and we see that it changed instantly because we have configured auto-loading in this environment. So that's pretty awesome, and that's the experience that developers will have when they're trying to develop Tweak. Let's go back to the slide. So we have a fast and consistent developer experience. It takes 50 minutes to set up a complex environment the first time. Afterwards, it's less than a minute. It's 5 seconds to see changes in the backend service. We have hot code reloading for the front end, and code autocomplete, watch test, debug configuration, extensions, everything work out of the box. Additionally, the developer machine stays clean. We can scale to multiple environments without conflicts because we can have different repositories, different projects running their own development containers. And the development environment configuration is also source controlled and correspond to the application code, which means we can run it we can easily run an older version of the app. And it can run locally or remotely because it's containers. And everything here is do-it-yourself. You can use Docker for desktop, VS Code. There are some other tools, and all of these tools all are free and open source. Now, thank you very much. I put all the resources on the session page and on my Twitter account. Thank you.